start with prayers, yeah?
Yeah, I will start. Okay. Om Agyana Timiran Dasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunatha Pritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Sicha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwabhane Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarve Vasha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavbhyo Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraya Nashta Prayashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Jat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hari Om Tat Sat Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jai Pataka Swami Iti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Padayane Gaur Katha Dhamodaya Nagar Gramotarine সব ভক্তবৎসল কি যায় এখানে রাত হয়ে গেছে অনেক 10:30 ঘুম পেয়ে গেছে আজকে তো আজকে আমাদের এখানে কি বলে প্রভুপাদ আজকে আমাদের এই কি বলে কলকাতা থেকে রওনা হয়েছে তো রওনা হওয়ার আগে অনেক কষ্ট করতে হয়েছে প্রভুপাদের so Prabhupada had to go through a lot of trouble let me see who all are there today first of all Sanjana Prasad is there Rohit Mukherjee is there Rasamai Rama is there Iskon Kalyani is there and I am there okay all right so Prabhupada was told by his spiritual master to go to the Western world and preach Krishna consciousness. So he took that up very seriously. At first, he thought that how can he go when we are subjugated by the British rule? So he was wondering what to do. But then he got inspiration as he started educating himself spiritually, he started reading the books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his spiritual master. So he got inspired slowly, slowly. So then he decided to go. But after many years, though, first he educated himself. He had a college degree from Scottish Church College in Kolkata, and later on he uh, started studying all the spiritual books, all the literature and the books, and he also started writing. So as he kept on with it, he definitely he gave up his family, and then he was in business, and that also didn't go right. So finally, he gave up all that, and then he started uh, educating himself spiritually. So it didn't take very long for him because he, from his childhood, through his father, he had understood about bhakti, Krishna Prem. So it was not too difficult, and it is also very evident that one who is spiritually inclined, uh, he gets it easy. And somebody who is not spiritually inclined, it is difficult for them. No matter how much they try, they fail. So he was spiritually inclined right from his childhood. And so it was not too difficult for him. And of course, we know that he is a Shaktavesh avatar, which means that he has been empowered by Krishna to come and preach in this Kali Yuga. And he also got empowered from his Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Sripad. So Prabhupada also uh, understood that what his Guru Maharaj uh, had asked him to do. And so he wanted to follow it. Absolutely. So after leaving from Vrindavan, he started trying to find out how he could go over there to USA. That's another thing. He didn't want to go to England or any other country. He always wanted to go to America and specifically New York. That was his plan right from the beginning. So there was one Mr. Agarwal who was in Vrindavan, and he asked him if he could, if his son could sponsor him. So his son, who was in USA already, was sent a message by his father also and Prabhupada that please sponsor this sadhu. So finally, his son agreed to it, and then um, the sponsorship letter came in Delhi consulate, US consulate, and Prabhupada got that in the mail. Then, after he got that in the mail, that was the first step, because unless and until somebody would sponsor, he didn't have any money to buy even a ticket. So, what to talk about taking money over there to for business or study or anything? He just didn't have anything. So he was just going to go over there as a tourist, as a visitor to USA. And then when he got that letter, he started understanding that what were the requirements following to that letter. So he got his passport done. Then he wanted to apply for visa. But before he applied for the visa, he went and asked at many places to if they could buy his books. So he tried many places, and for quite some time in Bombay and other places, mainly in Bombay, but it was of no use. So he could not sell his books or even keep it in the library for that matter. In Mahalakshmi, Bombay, there is a place called Mahalakshmi where there was a library, spiritual library. All the uh, spiritual books were there in the library. They didn't even want to take that book even. Anyway, so he was not disheartened at all. He kept on trying. So first he got his visa. First he got his passport, and then he went to uh, Murarji, Lady Murarji, who was the owner of Scindia Steamship Company. And he went over there quite a few times, but then they said that no, we can't let you go because you're old, you'll fall sick, it is very cold over there, you don't need to go, you will die. All kinds of things they were telling him to discourage him. Why you want to go over there? What is there for you? You don't know anybody. Anyway, so he tried very hard, and finally, the lady, the owner of the steamship company, before that, all the Britishers used to have the shipping lines. They were controlling the shipping lines, sea voyages, and so there were very famous companies in Kolkata, Bird and Hilgers Travel. So they used to control it. All the outward ships going out of India, they were the owners, they were the controllers. But after the Britishers left, then some of the other uh, families, this is a Murarji family that had shipping lines. So now then, he finally got to agree. The lady agreed, and she told him that I have cargo ship, and you can travel in that cargo ship. Uh, so I will let you go in that cargo ship. Now did not have that passenger ship that many because the Britishers just left and they took all the shipping lines, ships away. There were few ships, but that time mostly people were had started traveling by plane in the early 50s and 60s. So in Prabhupada's case, this was in the 60s. So he was trying from 60, 61, 62, 63 onwards, he was trying. By that time, Pan Am, TWA, many of the airlines, American companies, BOAC, British Airways, now British Airways. So they were already flying. I think Air India also started flying at that time. So, but he did not have the money to buy the ticket. So what he did is he took the boat, the ship, and the ship, it was called Jaladut, and it left from Kolkata. And it left from Kolkata, and he was there on the ship on this day, today, 60 years ago. So he had 40 rupees, not dollars, mind you. He had 40 rupees and a trunk full of books, a briefcase, and an umbrella. That was it. So you can understand how humble beginning Prabhupada had. And then when the ship left from Kolkata, it stopped in Sri Lanka. That time it was known as Ceylon. So he left, and the ship went to Sri Lanka, and then from there onwards, through the Suez Canal, it went on. And uh, unfortunately, Prabhupada had two heart attacks in that ship while he was traveling. Anyway, um, there are so many details, I don't want to go into it. Then finally, he arrived in Boston Harbor. And from Boston Harbor, he went to that Agarwal family. And from there, he moved to New York. And then from New York, the rest of the history started. So that's the beginning of Prabhupada's travel journey from India. So the basic thing to understand is that he had to struggle a lot, but he didn't give up hope. Similarly, we should not give up hope. When we are trying to do something and we fail, then we should always try to see that we can get ahead. Again, start with it. In many cases, it does work, and in many cases, it does not. But we have to keep trying. Even if we don't have the means, we have to have total faith in Krishna. We have to have unalloyed, unflinching, faith in Krishna, and Krishna provides. Prabhupada is the greatest example. He wanted to go and he went. He didn't give excuses. He was 69 years old at that time, and he came to USA in 1965. So we understand from that if you try hard, you will be able to make it. If you are not successful in business, then you might be successful in a job. If you're not successful in a job, then you have to work for somebody. A lot of times we feel we don't feel very encouraged working for others. And it says in Bhagavad Gita also that it is better to work for yourself than to work for somebody else. So that is what I wanted to say about Prabhupada. Maybe some other time I can continue, or somebody else can continue about Prabhupada's mission in life. It's very important that we know about Prabhupada's mission in life. It's extremely important because the more we know about Prabhupada, the more we hear about Prabhupada, we'll get encouraged ourselves. So, what to talk about 40 rupees? He went with 40 rupees in his pocket, and at some point in time, he had $40 million. 40 million. So you can imagine he traveled 14 times around the world. How many people have done that? 14 times all around the world. He has written over 100 books. He wrote Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. He translated so many books from Bengali to English. So all that he did in 10 years' time, from 66 to 77. What an achievement. Unless and until you are empowered it is not possible. And the desire has to be there in you, that I will do it. So, like in my case, I've been at it for last 6 or 7 years. So I finally finished Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and now we are studying Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that will also be over sometime. So nothing is impossible. But those who are working, it's a little difficult. So just do it slowly. That's all you can do. So it's okay. No problem. A time might come when you get more time and you will be able to study or read more. So last time on August 2nd, I discussed about overcoming obstacles on the path to purified consciousness. And the second point that I discussed was demigod worship. I was not able to give a long, detailed information about demigods, but I did discuss some of the most important points about uh, how we should try to avoid uh, worshipping demigods very seriously, because that is not a proper use of time. Proper use of time spiritually, if you want to advance, you have to serve Krishna, Lord Krishna. And we have to know that we have three Ishtadev in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya Sampradaya. We have three Ishtadev. It is said, Lochandas Thakur said, Jai Gaur, Shai Krishna, Shai Jagannath. So our mission is to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, and Lord Jagannath. Other than that, it's, I wouldn't say waste of time, but at the same time, I will say waste of time. Now you want to know about them? Fine. You want to know what are their activities? That is okay. But don't go too deep into it. Don't get too excited about Durga Puja, Kali Puja, Saraswati Puja, all these different pujas that we have. It's no use. There is a sloka. You must try to read that. It's there in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, I'm sorry. Ya asti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarve guna tatra samseta sura hareo avaktasya kuta mahat guna manorathena asti dhavata bhahi. What does that mean? That it means that we have to request. There are slokas after sloka proving that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Yet we fail to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. It is one of the 10 aparadhs to see that other demigods are on the same level, considering, if we consider other demigods to be on the same level as Lord Krishna, it's an aparadh. So we have to understand about the good qualities of the demigods. And that's what that slok is telling. Ya asti bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarve guna tatra samseta sura. Hareo abhaktasya kuta mahad guna manorathena asti dhavata bai. So what we have to do? We have to understand about the good qualities of the demigods, because they're at a much higher level than us. They have got a lot of super good qualities. And we have to use those good qualities and use them in our life and request the demigods, pray to them to help us understand the ways we can serve the Supreme Lord Krishna as best as we can. We should pray that help us to reach the higher stages of life spiritually. Pram Dishta Nivartate. So our goal should be that we should go to a higher level of spiritualism, not stay at the same level. Some people don't even start it. So we have started, so our desire should be to go higher, 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 higher. Otherwise, we'll get stagnated. So now what is the duty of us is to serve the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna. Jatha tarora mula nasa chenena tripyanti skanda bhuja upasaka. That means you watered the root of the tree. And all these branches, twigs, flowers, fruits, they are the demigods. So we have to water the root, and if you just keep watering the root, tripyanti skanda bhuja upasaka, then all the twigs, branches, leaves will get satisfied. The trunk of the tree will get satisfied. So that is the main take of our demigod worship. You can follow them. You can read about them. You can understand about them. But don't go too much in the depth of that because you will not get anything much out of it. We just pray to them that please uh, help us get spiritually advanced so that we can serve Lord Krishna. That's it. So that was what I discussed last time. I wanted to touch on that a little bit. Now today's discussion is from chapter 3. We are going to discuss about the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, the meaning of personal realization. Being a householder, Vyasdev did not pretend to be a liberated soul. A preacher has no business with household except to enlighten them. So these are the five topics that I wanted to discuss. Now let me start off with the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I'm going to be a little brief today because I've taken enough time. So I have half an hour to discuss all these points, and then whatever I am unable to finish, I will pick it up next time. So like I picked up the demigod worship detail. Okay, so the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam include being the ripened fruit of the Vedic desire tree. There is a beautiful sloka. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam sukhamukad amrita dara samunitam pivata bhagavatam rasa amalayam muhu aho rasika bhuvi bhavaka. So we have the ready-made spiritual process handed to us by the literary incarnation of Lord Krishna, who? Vedavyas. He has given Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Itihasas, and if we just read them, or even if we can't read, we hear them, then we'll get spiritually quite advanced. So, from reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we get a lot of benefit. So, the first thing that we have to understand that reading the Bhagavatam, which is the ripened fruit, if you get a mango, a green mango from the tree, it'll be sour to taste, right? And when you get a mango that is ripened and ready to eat, isn't that going to be much sweeter? So, same way, we have got all these material in front of us. We just have to pick it up and keep going through that. So, we see Lord Krishna, the ripened fruit of the Vedic tree of desire and the essence of all Vedic scripture, establishing devotional love for Krishna as the highest truth. We have to understand what is the highest truth, what is the absolute truth. Absolute truth is none other than Krishna, because he is overseeing everything that is going on in the world. He is not only overseeing one individual, he is overseeing the entire cosmology. And unless and until we have faith in that he is the controller, then you're wasting your time. It's better you move on to other things. But if you want to have total faith in Krishna, that he is the only one who is controlling everything, then you're on the right track. Studying, chanting, or even hearing this scripture purifies the heart. What does Srimad Bhagavatam do? Purify the heart. It dispels darkness of ignorance and protects one from the influence of Kali Yuga. If you all are studying Srimad Bhagavatam now and hearing Bhagavatam, become more serious students. Because there is no other way that you will get this kind of benefit other than Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or Chaitanya Charitamrita. So if you want to do it the right way. It says over here, it dispels darkness in this Kali Yuga. What is the slok? Mam upaye punarjanma dukhalaya ashrasatam na puvanti samahatma samsiddhi paramgata. So this is a miserable world. And to overcome in this miserable world, you have to take the help of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and especially what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, your chanting and your satsanga. If you are in a satsanga, you'll get diverted. So just be in the satsanga, proper association, then you'll be able to move on. So is the leading to spiritual liberation. In this age of darkness, it protects one from the influences of Kali Yuga, leading to spiritual liberation. Now that is another point, that are you wanting liberation or you don't care for it? Question yourself. What do I want? What is my main focus in life? What do I want to get out of it? It's a systematic structure, vocabulary, make it unparalleled and powerful work, considered the highest and most auspicious gift to the mankind. So it's something not very, um, easy material. It's not like reading any novel or any kind of history book or some kind of a story book. This is a very serious matter. Here we see literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord as Ved Vyas. So what it says, essence of Vedic knowledge considered as the crown jewel and the ripened fruit of the Vedic desire tree, which contains all the Vedas, Upanishads, Mahabharata, and Vedanta Sutras. Thus, Srimad Bhagavatam focuses on glories of Krishna. It glorifies Krishna, pure bhakti, Suddha Tattva, devotional service. This should be considered as the highest goal of life and ultimate truth. Then what does it do? It does a lot of other things, but I'm just telling you some of the basic stuff. It purifies purification of heart. Simply hearing or studying can purify the self and avoid contamination. You know, if you're wearing a uh, white shirt and a dot of ink, black ink, is comes from the pen, or a small black dot is there in that white shirt, it becomes very prominent. So that's why we have to be always very careful that we are reading, we are purifying ourselves, and no contamination, no black mark can come and uh, come to us and contaminate us. We can avoid it by studying these books. It'll give us intelligence. Now, things can happen by mistake many times. Okay, that is not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that purposely, knowingly, you don't want to contaminate yourself. Janiya suniya bis kaido. Knowingly, you are taking poison. You know that this is material world. It's not going to help you in any way. We are doing that. We are still chewing the chew. Then the next point is the gift of liberation. If desired, it can lead us to the ultimate destination, the supreme abode of Lord Krishna, Vaikuntha or Golak Vrindavan. Then Srimad Bhagavatam is powerful and inspiring text which can lead us to Krishna and understanding the absolute truth. So these are some of the basic points that I wanted to tell you. And when you study even more, you will realize the sweetness and the message you'll get very clearly. Then I'm going to touch the meaning of personal realization. What is personal realization? The meaning of personal realization. The Srimad Bhagavatam emphasizes that personal realization encompasses understanding one's true nature as distinct from the temporary material body and mind. Our body is temporary. Okay? Now, by knowing that our body is, so we have to get a realization, higher realization, not bodily intelligence. We have to have our mind and develop our mind to higher understanding. Otherwise, what is the difference between us and those animals on the street or in the park, or I mean in the zoo? There is no difference. Eating, mating, defending, sleeping, those are the qualities of an animal. Those are the same qualities for us. So we have to rise to a higher platform. So that realization has to come to you. And that realization comes from Srimad Bhagavatam. It emphasizes the personal realization which encompasses understanding one's true nature as distinct from the temporary material body and mind. It's about recognizing the spiritual identity of the self, which is what? Atma. And Atma is as an eternal, pure, and indestructible part of the Supreme Lord Krishna. We are part and parcel. Mama vangsha jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, manasastani indriyani, prakriti stani karshati. So, we are part and parcel of Krishna. And if we want to know about our Atma, we will get the sloka about our Atma in Bhagavad Gita also. And also it's mentioned in many parts of Srimad Bhagavatam that Nainam Chiddanti Shastrani, Nainam Davita Pravaka, Na Sa Esa Klebodante Apo, Na Shoshati Maruta. You cannot burn it, you cannot wet it, you cannot cut it, and you cannot uh, destroy it with a weapon. So these are the qualities, and our Atma is what? 1010 part of the tip of the hair. So you can understand that our Atma is always going to be moving on, transmigrating. Our body is going to get over, but the Atma is going to keep on going. It's an eternal item, like the Lord, Supreme Lord has Satchit Ananda. So we are also like that. Only you have to understand that we are qualitatively same, quantitatively we are different. গুণগত এক আর পরিমাণগত আলাদা. What is quantitative in Bengali? পরিমাণগত. And what is qualitative? গুণগত. So that is what you will understand from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and the other scriptures. You have to understand that you are a spiritual being, not simply a physical body or a collection of thoughts and emotions. You are a spiritual being. ওটা কি জানি জীব কৃষ্ণের নিত্য দাস. We are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. জীবের স্বরূপ হয় কৃষ্ণের নিত্য দাস. What is our স্বরূপ? Our স্বরূপ is just like Krishna. And like I said, qualitative and quantitatively different. You are a servant of Krishna. You have to understand that. Your natural and eternal position is to render loving service to the Supreme Lord. That's what we need to do. Mat chitta madgata prana bodayantascha parasparam kathayantascha mama nityam. You have to talk with the Supreme Lord. Dushyanti cha ramanti cha. He is happy, we are happy. Otherwise, it's all waste of time. If you are happy and you don't think that if the Supreme Lord is happy or not, I don't care. I am happy, I'm fine. No, you'll fall down. You'll not be able to move very far in life. So it says, you are a servant of Krishna. Your natural and eternal position is to render service to the Supreme Lord. Jivero Bhuliya, na, what is that? Krishna Bhuliya Jeev, অনাদির বাইর মুখ, অতএব মায়া তারে দেয় সংসারে দুঃখ. We are getting trouble in our life constantly. You know, the only way we can do is we have to serve the Lord, and then we'll become much happier, much more peaceful. The true happiness comes from the relationship of that. That's why I said, Mat chitta madgata prana, bodayantascha parasparam. Kathayantascha. Kathayantascha means I'm discussing with the Lord. Mama Nityam, all the time. Once you start chanting, once you start reading books, you'll see automatically you are talking to the Lord. It comes automatically. You don't have to work on it very hard. It comes very easily. In essence, personal realization, as explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam and supported by Prabhupada's teaching, is a transformative journey. It's a journey. It's a dynamic journey that culminates in the state of liberated consciousness, where one's true spiritual nature and loving relationship with Krishna are fully experienced and embraced. Such beautifully explained. Then you have to have what? Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilechena Chenena Santa Sataiva Hrideshu Vilaya Kanti Am Sam Sundaram Achinta Guna Swarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. You have to have the spiritual eyes to see him. You have to have the spiritual mind to understand him. You have to have the spiritual heart, to absorb his activities. And you have to have the spiritual heart, the eyes, and the mind to see the Paramatma, the super soul in your heart. If you are spiritually, mentally motivated, then you can see the what you call the spirit soul in your heart. You'll see it. It is not going to be difficult. You'll be able to embrace. I'll read this part again for you. In essence, personal realization, as explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam and supported by Prabhupada's teaching, is a transformative journey that culminates in a state of liberated consciousness where one's true spiritual nature and loving relationship with Krishna are fully experienced and embraced. So that is where we have to understand the real meaning of personal realization. What is personal realization? Unless and until we get to know who we are and why we are here in this world, what is our purpose in our life, what is the true essence of our life, we'll be lost. We'll just have this body, it'll be over. Again, we have to take birth and continue again. So transcend, my friend, transcend. Get to a higher level, try to understand what is the goal in our life. Now, I'm going to discuss about being a householder. Vyas did not pretend to be a liberated soul. Ved Vyas, also known as Krishna Dvayapan, he is the literary incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna, who compiled Vedas, Mahabharata, Upanishad, Puranas, and most importantly, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The Mahabharata narrates the story of his birth and his subsequent fathering of Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Vidur through the queen of his half brother, Vichitra Viraya. Vichitra Viraya, he participated in the social and familial responsibilities of a householder. He was a married man, Ved Vyas. And so he Vedvyas, he fathered so many, I mean, from him Dhritarashtra came, Vidur came, Pandu came. So he was a householder. Being a householder, Vyas did not pretend to be a liberated soul. He never pretended to be a liberated soul. It suggests a deeper philosophical point. He is a Jivan Mukta, liberated soul. He was a family man, but he was a Jivan Mukta. He was like higher, at a much higher level. In this material world, you can become a Jivan Mukta person. The only thing that you have to do is serve the Supreme Lord. There is a beautiful sloka that goes, which was written by Rupa Goswami in our um, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Ya asya haridasya karmana manusam giri nikhileswa api avastasya jivan mukta sa uchyate. In this life, in this material life, we can elevate to the higher spiritual sky only by Haridasya. All we have to do is serve the Lord, and He'll give us the intelligence. Tesam satata yuktanam bhajati priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogantam. Dadami buddhi yogantam means you serve me, I'll increase your intelligence. It's said in Bhagavad Gita. Tesam satata yuktanam 10.10 Bhagavad Gita. So now Vyasdev's life demonstrates that one can be deeply involved in the worldly affairs while simultaneously pursuing spiritual knowledge and guiding others while still in a householder role. Maharishi Vyasdev ki jai. So last, I'm going to touch this last point. A preacher has no business with householding except to enlighten them. A preacher. Now we are talking about a preacher. How can one become a preacher? Like Prabhupada was a super preacher. He had no household business to take care of. He was out of the household. But nowadays, you don't need to be out of the household business. You can be a householder and be a very good preacher. In our ISKCON movement, we have many, tens of, what do you call, 150, 200, 300 preachers who are Grihastha, and they're preaching all the time. This means a preacher encourages spiritual guidance and teaching rather than involvement in day-to-day management or decision making within the individual household. So the preacher's duty is to keep on helping or guiding some individual spiritually. We don't want to get involved in what is happening in your household. That is for you to take care of. A preacher's detail is to help you guide. Guide meaning what? Spiritual guidance. And sometimes people do come up with questions like, what can I do? What will be good for us? If I do this, how can my family benefit? Those are okay. But a preacher's main goal is to help guide devotees, help guide household facing various challenges. One of the important duties is to guide the devotees from good from bad. What is Anukulasya Sankalpa, Pratikulasya Bharjanam. We have to help in that way. Whatever is good spiritually, we need to guide them. Whatever is bad spiritually, we have to ask them to give it up. The reaction of good work is comparative material prosperity. So, whereas the action of bad work is the comparative material distress. So, we have to compare what is good and what is bad. If we do bad things, we are going to have distress, stress, um, unhappiness, misery. And if we are spiritually doing things, you will see. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasna annagami. You will be focused. If you practice spiritually every day, little by little, you do your daily work. No problem. You go to school, college, your business, your work, everything is fine. Just add a little bit of spirituality in it. Read the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Read it. Go discuss on Sundays in the temple with others. Listen to the class. Listen to a Zoom. Go attend a Zoom meeting. Listen to there are so many YouTube programs that we can hear. You know, so we can't give an excuse that I don't have time. Are Baba, you might have some at least half an hour time somewhere. So do it, and then you'll see how smooth your life is going to get. So, but material conditions, either in so-called happiness or in so-called distress, are all meant ultimately for distress only. Happiness, then distress, happiness, distress. I'm talking about day-to-day life where there is no spiritual involvement. It's going to all end up in distress. You might have a friend. It's what is the last three letters of the friend? END. You might have a girlfriend that also ends with END. You have a best friend that also ends with END. But when you have a family, a good family, what are the last letters? ILY. I love you. So try to be with good family, make your family good, be with other family members and make them happy, and then your friends and your girlfriends and your best friends are all going to end at some point in time. So become more serious. A lot of people I've seen, they go crazy with their friends. Friends for them is everything in life. So that is only distress. Our main goal is to obtain eternal happiness, and that is what needs to be preached by a Krishna conscious preacher. That's all he needs to do, is he needs to guide everybody into Krishna consciousness. The Bhagavad Gita also gives the same solution of serving the Lord by the fruits of our labor. And that will lead one to the path of Naish Karmanya or liberation. Naish Karmanya. So that is what we have to achieve in life, is first, to summarize, I'll go over this. The first thing is that the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, what benefit you are going to get after reading Srimad Bhagavatam, the meaning of personal realization. If you realize what is good, what is bad for you, then you'll be at a higher platform. Being a householder, you can do a lot of other spiritual activities, a lot of good work. um, in the temple with your other devotee friends, you will be able to move along. And then the last part that I talked about is a preacher has no business with householding except to enlighten them. So these are some of the 5 points that I discussed today. And I'll end my class. Time is over. So I'll end my class over here. And next week, I will try to uh, catch up with chapter 4 or further on, whatever. I will decide which subjects, which points to talk about next week. So, all of you have a very blessed week and take care of yourself and be Krishna conscious as best as you can. You don't have to go overboard, just do the best you can and take care of yourself and everybody else. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Jagat Guru Shila Prabhupada ki jai, Patit Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai, Sab Bhakta Vatsal ki jai. Hari Bol. Good night. You have anybody has any questions, can ask. Otherwise, I'll end my class over here. Thank you.